Hey there, I'm Brandon. This is the Dirt Church Devotional. Yeah, we just came off an election cycle, and a lot of people are excited and a lot of people are not excited. And I thought, being such a person of great influence as I am, and by the way, I'm saying that with a little bit of sarcasm, but being a person of such great influence as I am, I thought I had better weigh in on all this political talk. So I'm going to. So first of all, before I do, how many of us would like to live peaceful, quiet lives? All right, well, considering I'm all alone, I will consider that unanimous. Hopefully you raised your hand too. Let me read to you something that I was reading yesterday. It just caught my attention as I was thinking about all the election, the national election and the local election. Let me read to you. This comes out of the Bible, comes out of 1 Timothy chapter 2, starting in verse 1. And it says this: I urge then, first of all, that requests, prayers, intercession, and, get this, thanksgiving be made for everyone, for kings and all those in authority, that we may live peaceful and quiet lives in all godliness and holiness. This is good and pleases God our Savior, who wants all men to be saved and come to the knowledge of the truth. Now, let me give you a little bit of background. Paul is writing to a young man by the name of Timothy. He's a protege of his. He's a young pastor. And at this time, Paul wrote 2 letters to Timothy. This one, 1 Timothy, he wrote shortly after being released from prison. You see, Paul was a political prisoner, political religious prisoner of Rome under the authority of Caesar. Paul understood a little bit of something about bad politics. He understood a little bit of something about bad leadership on many levels. Paul himself had been involved in religious politics. He had been part of the Sanhedrin. He was a Pharisee. He was high up in this. All right, but now he was a prisoner, or had been a prisoner, political prisoner of Rome. Now, 2 Timothy was actually written while he was in prison later, waiting to be executed by Rome, by Caesar. Okay, and what does Paul say? He never changed his mind. This was inspired by God. What did he say? He says, I urge you to pray, to petition, to intercede with thanksgiving for all men and women, for all who are in authority. He said kings and leaders, for all who are in authority. Now, it's a lot easier to be thankful for somebody that you agree with. It's a lot easier to be thankful when the person that you voted for is elected. It's a lot harder to be thankful for the individual, not just the situation, but Paul says for all people. It's a lot harder to be thankful for a person that you disagree with. And yet, that's what Paul tells us to do. Pray, petition, intercede with thanksgiving for all who are in authority. And that's the key to living a peaceful, quiet life. I think a lot of times we want the peaceful, quiet life, but we want it on our own terms, and we refuse to follow God's instruction, which is to pray for even those you disagree with. Why? Because it pleases God. Not just pray for, but with thanksgiving. All right, chew on that. Maybe let it affect your prayer life. Let it affect your attitude. And let's move towards a peaceful, quiet life. All right? Talk to you next time.